You and I were on a mastermind call with a bunch of other people, I think last week, and you got really passionate about the difference between something that's common and normal.
Yeah.
And it really reminded me of that. So if you could go a little, I love that whenever you were discussing it. So if you do it for the Betties, tell Betties, like, what is the difference between common and
Common
normal?
and normal. Yeah, this is my geeky word. Like I pray to the word. If there's a church I worship, it's words. Because I think words inform our environment. It's how we interact with people. So I remember actually having this conversation with she's an entrepreneur. She's very well known in Canada. Her name is Arlene Dickinson. And we were talking about the difference between, so I'll get to common and normal in just a second, but just as an illustrative example, how I don't call women girls. Like if you are a woman who is, paying rent for her home, paying a lease on a car, paying her own credit card bills, you are not a girl. You are a woman. And it's important because there is such an infantilization already for women where we will, and even like, I'm going to go out and have a girls' night out. Well, no, you're going to, I have a problem with that because it, we would never, like, you would never go to the bank. You'd never go to the bank and be like, I want to go talk to that boy teller over there.
Yeah. And it implies like immaturity and just like girls who are just like talking about nothing or talking about, okay, we do talk about makeup and stuff, but that's not that is not when women get together, that what we're discussing and what it's about. It's not just girls gabbing and gossiping. Like,
And even
yeah,
if we do talk about makeup, like I want to talk about makeup. I want someone to teach me how to do the perfect cat eye. And if someone can do that, please, if they're just putting it out there. I loved it, but that's also an artistic expression. Like I'm fine with that, but I will also call my friends who are female or who identify as female women because it implies a maturity around it. So I don't like, and I was saying this to Arlene, and she was like, I don't see the difference. Like I call my, employees my girls, and it's like, if you're constantly calling them girls, at what point do they mature, right? You would say, I want to speak to that gentleman teller over there. I want to speak. You would never say, I want to speak to that boy, So that's just an example of how words inform our reality and our perceptions about people. So when we're talking about common and normal, I was talking about this in the context of health, and I'll give an example that I talk about in the book, that I talk about with clients, and this is the idea of normal versus common menstrual pain. Right. So in society, we see commercials like for Midol, for Advil, for Tylenol, for all these different types of medications for you to take around your period, because the assumption is that every woman has this, or that it's so common that it's normal. But like there's a difference between something that occurs commonly in the population versus something that's normal. And I talk about this. I was talking about this on the mastermind. I once had a patient. She was talking to me about, we were doing an intake. She was talking like the primary complaint was headaches. And so I was trying to get a history on it. And she's like, I get these headaches. I get these normal headaches around my period. Like I get these normal headaches like once a month. And I was like, okay, first, what about, and this is just me kind of pushing back on her to help her change her philosophy a little bit. And no, there's no blame to her, right? But like society, we normalize menstrual pain. So I said, what about headaches are normal? What do you think about headaches? What is it about a headache that you think is normal? And she's like, oh, well, I get it every month. And I said, listen, there's nothing normal about it. That is an abnormal condition. For you to have headaches, I mean, you're seeking care, right? Like you're seeking a solution for it. So it's not normal. It's common. So just because you and all of your friends may experience it means that there's something either exogenous or endogenous that is driving the headache, but there's nothing normal about it. It's just common. And when you distinguish between those two, you are much more likely to try to find a solution to something that is common versus something that is normal. If you think that your headaches are normal, or you think that your menstrual pain is normal, then you are much less likely to say, you know what, I probably should find a solution to these normal things. You won't, because you think that they're normal. And this is a reason why I'm such a sucker for words, because it does inform the way that we look at things. And that there's often an underlying philosophical premise behind it, right? If you think the headaches are normal, and you think that, well, everyone gets headaches, so it's like normal, then you're less likely to do something about it, versus if you're like, okay, I know that a lot of people get headaches from around their menstrual cycle, and I too am now experiencing this. So what can I do to help fix it?